Hello there, and welcome to this edition of Thought for the Week. It's a wonderful thing to have our faith enlarged, isn't it? Especially in these days of such crisis and challenge at every level in our society and in all the nations of the world. There seems to be terrible unrest, and we can feel quite shaky at times. But it's wonderful to know that our faith is firmly placed in the Lord Jesus. And of all the gospel writers, the one who emphasizes that, to have our faith built up and increased, it's the Apostle John. His fourth gospel, John's gospel, makes much of the fact that Jesus is God, come in human form, and that we are to put our faith in him. It's most encouraging. And one of the most encouraging incidents in the early gospel is that of changing water into wine, when Jesus was invited, along with his family, to this marriage in a small local village called Cana in Galilee. Jesus was there, his family were there, his apostles were there, and his mother was there. And I'm sure you're familiar with what happened, but if not, let me simply remind you. A wedding took place in Cana of Galilee. Jesus' mother was there, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine was gone, Jesus' mother said to him, "They have no more wine." "Dear mother, what does that have to do with me?" said Jesus. "My time has not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "You do whatever Jesus tells you." Wow, that was good advice. Nearby stood 6 stone water jars, the kind used by the Jews for ceremonial washing, each holding from 20 to 30 gallons. "Fill up those jars with water," said Jesus, and they did. Now he said, "Draw some of it out and take it to the master of the banquet." And when they did, miracle of miracles, it was the highest quality wine that the master of ceremonies had ever tasted. Jesus took something so ordinary, water, and turned it into something simply extraordinary, the highest quality wine. It's interesting that in John's Gospel account, he tells us that these jars were stone jars, not made of earthenware, not pottery, but stone jars. Now, that tells us something. In those days, there weren't many villages that had their own synagogue. Towns, yes. Larger villages like Capernaum, yes. But a small place like Cana, certainly not. So what happened is this. A local rabbi would use his home as a local synagogue. And interestingly, there would be need for ritual washing in the synagogue for various occasions in the life of the people, and they needed to have stone water jars, not earthenware ones. Earthenware ones, they believed, could lead to contamination of the water, and the water had to be pure, so they were stone jars. So this was a synagogue. It was a religious house as well as an ordinary home. And it was there that Jesus was master of the situation. A social disaster, that's what it would have been, to run out of wine at a society wedding, but Jesus was there. And because Jesus was there, he was able to enter right into that situation and bring a tremendous end result. Isn't that encouraging for you and me? As we face family crises of one kind and another, sometimes we can really get downhearted about it. But the Lord, if invited to perform a miracle, will perform a miracle to bless us and relieve us of all that tension that we've been holding to ourselves. I hope that'll encourage you this week. Goodbye for now, and thanks for watching. Bye.